Welcome to the Roslyn, Washington, or the Roslyn Riffle, our FishIBelong DIY fishing weekend. It's going to be held on June 25th through the 28th of 2026, and this is our Q&A sessions. All of our other events have always been the DIY fishing events. Originally they were fish and hangs. Now they've moved to the DIY fishing events. And this one's pretty special. We're calling it the Roslyn Riffle. It's the inaugural one. And we're hoping that it becomes an event that continues from year to year. So that is really our goal with this specific event. Also pretty excited because this event is actually happening over National Women's Fly Fishing Day. And so over that weekend. So that was really the whole reason behind selecting these dates is number one, the end of June is a really great time to come up to this specific fishery and get out there and fish. But also with it being National Women's Fly Fishing Month and over National Women's Fly Fishing Day, and to partner with the only solely owned women fly shop owner, it was a no-brainer. So Roslyn Riffle, here it is, and very excited to share this with you. As far as our DIY fishing events, I know like Colleen said that she had been to one, Kathy had been to one. I know several of you have been to other of our events, all similar formats. So it's our goal to empower you with lots of knowledge and, to help you kind of prepare yourself for this specific weekend. We have different co-hosts, we have committee members that are there to help you, help answer leader questions or fishing questions or just area questions, general travel and area questions. But it's not guided. So we are here to help empower you to become that independent and confident angler. So you kind of figure out how you can create these kind of adventures on your own. It's a la carte. So you will see that we have a lot going on this weekend. And we know that there's some folks that want to do it all, and that there's others that are like, oh my gosh, I have been, socially, I need a little break, and that's okay. So we call it a la carte. We give you the entire schedule. You just plug yourself in to wherever you'd like, whatever workshop you want to be in, the social fish, the evening, Saturday dinner, whatever it might be. Again, it is do it yourself. So this is where you are planning your own fishing adventures throughout the day. We do have a social fish, but really we are hoping that and encouraging you all to utilize the Facebook group, but also utilize the WhatsApp group and make new friends. And you'll hear over and over from several of us that you get out what you put into this. So the more you say hello, the more people you meet. I mean, Kathy and I were just in Patagonia, Argentina together in December. So you just never know who you're going to connect, and you're truly going to make some lifelong fishing friends. And all are welcome. So we know that this event is being held over the National Women's Fly Fishing, kind of the month. However, the event is open to all people. And we specifically are stating that, with FishIBelong, we support and we bring in all people that support all people out on the water. And that's really for this is, we welcome everyone who supports and celebrates people who identify, all people that identify as women, specifically for this event. It's a part of FishIBelong, and I'm sure many of you know what that is. If not, we're just a nonprofit 501c3 organization, and our DIY fishing events is just one of 4 programs that we have to offer. So we have 5 different DIY fishing events across the country. Next year, we're working on some other locations. For us, really, it's all about inclusion. It's all about bringing all people on the water. And with that, we have to also be inclusive to demographics and regions. And so we're trying to offer other locations as far as these DIY fishing events. We're also all species, all techniques, we kind of started as United on the Fly, which morphed into FishIBelong. Basically, we've started as a fly fishing education, fly anglers, but that's not the only thing that we do. So we have conventional anglers, we have tenkara, we have spey anglers, we have single hand. We encourage and we love people that fish all technique. No shade is ever thrown for whatever technique that you want to fish. For tonight, we have a lot to cover. I'm just going going to roll into it. So meeting the event committee, Angie Kelly, she's actually unable to join us tonight. She's also East Coast. She's coming from Ohio. She is a very special human that has really taken on a role of being the social media lead for United Women on the Fly. And so if you've ever seen the Angie's Asks with all the questions, this is her. She drives all the way from Ohio. She too is, I know we were speaking with someone that works in the school district, and she's also a teacher. And so she gets out of school, she takes 5 days, she drives immediately to the West Coast, and she is an incredible fly angler. She's also a songwriter and just recorded her first album, and all of her songs are all like It's Not the Fly, It's You, or Trout Dreams. I mean, it's all about fishing. It's really cool. So I hope that you get to experience some of those songs with her. Anne, are you on?
Woohoo!
Woohoo. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Anne. This will be my first I Fish, I Belong event as a co-host, but I started coming to these about 3 or 4 years ago, and I just came to the Montana one by myself, not knowing anything, hardly even knowing how to cast a fly. And I met so many cool people and came away. I think I might have even caught a fish that first time. But yeah, just the people it's so amazing and so fun, and you're going to learn a ton. And I can't say enough about the group. It's going to be great.
Awesome. Chelsea.
I'm here. Hi, I'm Chelsea. This is my first co-host role with these events. I've attended a couple of events. I think I also caught, it was a nice whitefish, my first event in Oregon. So anyways, I'm super excited. Exactly what Anne said. I love the community here. I've met some of my best friends and amazing humans through the fishing community. So looking forward to this.
Cool. Lane.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm Elaine, and I live in Vermont, and this is my first time doing an event with I Fish, I Belong, and United Women on the Fly. I'm really excited about it. I come from a paddle sports background, mostly whitewater kayaking and stand-up paddleboarding, and my husband, was like, "Oh, why don't you try out fly fishing?" And maybe it was a mistake, because I took that on just like I did with my whitewater kayaking, and never, I have not put a fly rod down since then. So I love fly fishing. I love, that I can be a part of this group, I Fish, I Belong, and United Women on the Fly, and just sort of share my love for paddle sports and fishing. And I'm really stoked to go to this event, be a part of it, and just share my joy for kayaking and fishing and meet all you people.
Awesome. And Elaine, for those, I know some of you have signed up for the Paddlecraft and Fishing Workshop. It's a 3-hour workshop at Spelea Beach on Clay Island Lake. She is offering just an incredible workshop on how to fish from a paddlecraft. So more to come about that, but very exciting. So Elaine, we are so happy that you're a part of the team. And for those of you for those that follow United on the Fly or us, Elaine is doing a 3-month paddlecraft education. So every week there's new social media education posts, as well as a monthly blog. So really all about safety, all about how to fish from a paddlecraft, how to even choose which paddlecraft to use. So a lot of great information. We're so lucky to have Elaine and her expertise in this. And we're lucky to have you on the team. So
Thank you.
And I'm Heather. I live in Spokane. I like to start things. So that's kind of what I've done. And I love to have community around me. And I'm kind of a pack person, I guess. I love community. Just like my dog loves to be in a pack, I love to be in a pack. And so I'm really excited to meet you all. And truly, our team of that you're all these incredible women really on our committee that you're meeting are awesome. And they are some of my bestest friends. So I continue to relay that too, is these people that you meet are really, really special. So welcome. Jay Michelle.
Hey, all. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Sorry, I was just sliding in hot. I'm Jay Michelle Swope. I'm so excited you guys are on tonight. I'm part of Heather's pack. And I'm so proud and happy to be so. I own Crow Creek Fly Shop and Guide Service. You are coming to my town for Roslyn Riffle, and I'm so stoked to have you all. Can't wait to meet Elaine in person. Really excited about this. Just to let you know, if you have any questions at all after this, you can always call me on the phone, text me, email me. We got you. I'm so stoked that you're here tonight and that you're going to be here in June.
Awesome. Sharon.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Sharon Wooten. I am on the leadership of Puget Sound Women on the Fly, which was started by Penny Mabey. She's on the call. I see her over there. And our other, who I now call our other quiet, fierce, introverted leader, Whitney, who is, I don't think, on the call yet. I was hoping she would try. But Puget Sound Women on the Fly is a women's group for the greater Puget Sound area, and we are an affiliate of the Three Rivers Trout Unlimited nonprofit. And we offer events and skill building and fly tying and community for women and people identifying as women to hang out and fly fish.
Awesome. Cool.
Happy to be here. Thanks.
Thank you so much for being on the committee. Yeah. So there's a lot of different women's groups, and I know we're going to have a lot of women from Western Washington. So definitely look up Puget Sound Women on the Fly. They're doing, I think this weekend, it's the first ever beginner workshop, correct? That you all are doing on the water.
Yeah, this weekend we're doing a dryland skill building clinic. It's a part 1 of 2, and we've got some FFI casting instructors coming to do some casting, and we'll do rigging. It's one of our biggest fundraisers of the year. And then the second one will be on the water. So we're just really hoping to make more independent anglers and follow suit. It's really great.
Awesome. Sweet. Thank you. And other event partners, United on the Fly, a group of women focusing on all of those that identify as women within fly fishing. So our goal is just to empower folks and women specifically with education, with knowledge, with bringing a community together. And United on the Fly, this is one of our events that we're partnering with FishIBelong, as well as with Puget Sound and Crow Creek. And United on the Fly is a program of FishIBelong. So we're also a part of that nonprofit. Jay Michelle, I know you talked a little bit about Crow Creek. Is there anything else you want to add to it?
I would love to add a couple things. So
Yes.
we run a guide service out of here. So if anyone wants to have a guided trip during their stay here, get a hold of us. We're not the only game in town, but I have other recommendations for some guide services who treat women and folks respectfully and well. So I would love to give you some recommendations. And it's when you sign up, those recommendations are in the document. Any questions you have moving forward, please just give me a call, text, email. We will answer. I'm so stoked for you guys to come. And I think that's probably it.
Yeah.
Unless Heather, you wanted me to say something
We'll
else.
talk more and more and more. So yeah.
Well, I already have slides coming about flies. And
You
stuff,
do, yeah. And you know, Roslyn, Washington is pretty special. It's pretty small. And those of you who ever watched Northern Exposure, it was filmed there. So there's a lot of, if you want to do a Northern Exposure scavenger hunt, you probably can.
So I will add 2 things actually for that. Thank you, Heather, for that prompt. This town exists because of coal mining, and there's an interesting history around coal mining and its infusion of immigrants. And so there's an actually fascinating tour one can do in this small town around that sort of like what happened when the railroad came through and coal mining came along and the immigrant population, which it still exists here today. And it's a great thing to see. There's also a very almost like completely like America anyway, North America famous cemetery here, which is only like 6 blocks from the shop that one can wander through and look at. It's just, again, a piece of history. And then, of course, there's Highland Lakes. We can talk about fishing. There's other fishing opportunities, hiking opportunities, biking. There's a big mountain biking community here with lots of trails. So if you're thinking about coming and you have people coming along who maybe don't fish, there's a lot of other recreation opportunities for you to enjoy. So just keep that in mind and give us a text or a call if you have questions.
Awesome. Yeah. And in the website, I'm sure that many of you have already looked at, we have in the travel section, there's a list of things to do as well. So we have several sponsors. We really couldn't do this event without our incredible sponsors. So the Roslyn Downtown Association has really helped and support us in this event. Central Washington Outdoors and the City of Roslyn, Fly Fish Instruct for all of the educational parts. Inland Networks, we're being sponsored by NRS. We'll talk a little bit more about that too. And then, of course, Puget Sound Women on the Fly and United Women on the Fly. So if you want to be a sponsor, we'll take you as a sponsor. So please reach out to us. As mentioned, we are a nonprofit. We really want to bring all people and specifically help with financial, if anybody needs any financial help with that as well. Land acknowledgement, we always acknowledge the land and the first peoples of where we're at. So Roslyn is located with the ancestral lands of the Confederated tribes and bands of the Yakima Nation. Travel goes pretty easy travel. Seattle, it's about an hour and a half east of Seattle. And then you have Central Oregon, you have Northwest Washington, and then from Spokane, it's about 3 hours. So it's a really great location over the mountain pass, and it's just an absolute beautiful drive, whichever direction that you come to Roslyn. There are some airports, and you can find all of the travel information. Obviously, we're all very tech savvy, or most of us are, so you can Google it, but we have a lot of that information listed in our FishIBelong Fish Washington travel page. As far as meals go, so you're on your own for all meals except for Saturday night. So we're excited to share that Juanita's Mexican food that they are going to be sponsor our Saturday night dinner. So we have a lot going on Saturday, and we're going to get into that. But as far as there's lots of grocery stores kind of in the area, Seattle, obviously, Ellensburg, which is about 20 so minutes away, has a Fred Meyer's. So there are other grocery stores, and Cle Elum also has a Safeway. So grocery stores where you can get a lot of your groceries if needed. As far as hotels, we know that there are several people that are going to be flying in, and so you may not have stuff to camp. So there have been rooms reserved at the Best Western Snow Camp Lodge in Cle Elum, and Cle Elum's only about, 10, 12 minutes from Roslyn, very, very close. So everything's going to be really around in the Roslyn area, but wherever you're at, you're going to be pretty close if you stay or camp in Cle Elum. As far as camping, we still have some group campsites that are still available, and we are designating the Whispering Pines group campsite as our main campsite. It's a great location. It's right on the Yakima River. It's only about 10 minutes from Roslyn, really from the fly shop, and just an awesome location for us all to be together. So those of you who have attended some other DIY events like West Yellowstone, people were kind of spread out, more sporadic, and Durango, Oregon, we've all kind of been closer, and those tend to be the events that I think people really build that community. So being a part of the group campsite is great. If for some reason you don't have camp stuff, but you want to camp just due to finances, let us know. I have so much extra stuff. I know that we can definitely get an extra tent and an extra sleeping bag and all of that. We're more than happy to help with that. Or we'll probably bring some extra camp chairs, so that way if you want to come and maybe listen to Angie, serenade us around the campfire, that's always welcomed as well. As far as the website, so this is new this year, and this is something we spent a lot of time working on, and I hope that you all utilize this, but each specific location has its own menu as far as its website goes. So In the past, we used to have one website and it had all the information, but it was really long and really hard. It just wasn't organized well. So now when you go into the Fish/Washington, you can click here and the menu is going to be here. So if you want to learn about registration, if you want to learn and see where the itinerary is, what's happening, how to travel, the fishing information, everything about all the workshops, education, how to connect, how to get WhatsApp, how to get Facebook. We do have a scholarship and also the FAQs and logistics. So we have like 25 questions with answers. Again, just hoping that we can help just ease any stress and make this event just as good. We want to make sure that you come feeling excited and not stressed and have all the information that you need. We also have an event Google map. So here we have it's on several of the pages and we have, I think it's like 23 pins of places to fish. So this is an awesome resource for you all. So if you're trying to figure out like where you're going to fish each day or who you're going to fish with, this is a great resource for you to look at. Also, we have the meetup locations, of everywhere that we're going to be. Service is pretty good actually around the area, but I always suggest to make sure that you're in service, while you're doing your Google Maps or your Apple Maps or whatever you use to ensure that you can get to that location. And screenshotting, that kind of stuff as well. We have a Facebook group as mentioned. This is a place for you to just join, ask questions, make fishing dates, all of the things. If you want to share a guided trip, like J. Michelle said, this is the thing, say, hey, I'm, so-and-so, I'm looking for someone to share a guided trip, so just utilize that. We know that not all people use Facebook, and if I didn't have to, I probably wouldn't. But so we've also created a WhatsApp group. And this is nice because it gives all of those that don't have Facebook an option in order to connect. So please utilize that. And or we will be using the WhatsApp group to every day throughout the event. I'll be posting in the morning kind of what the agenda looks like. So that's where all of the notifications will be. Quick and easy. You can QR code it in your email. There's a link to get into it. You just, ask to join and our co-host will definitely let you in. As far as registration goes, most of you have registered. Thank you. And most of you, if you haven't, really the cost, it helps. There's a lot that goes on, a lot of costs and permits that we had to gather and camping and all of the things. So really the registration fee helps offset a lot of that essential planning and operational costs, as well as allows us to also offer scholarships and financial assistance to those that need it. What's included in registration? So cling temperature tapes. This is a pretty cool it's like a tape that you can put on a net or anything really, so to determine what the water temps are, whether we should be fishing for trout or not. Also a surprise piece of equipment. We have so much either the coils here, we have big nippers, we have United Went on the Fly, Hemos, all kinds of stuff. So you don't know what you're going to get in your bag, but it's going to be something awesome. Also, we did get a permit for fishing for our social morning fish. So that is an option. We do say that for our social morning fish on Friday, that if you're looking for solitude, the social fish is probably not for you, just so you know. So we're just putting that expectation out there. Also virtual education. So in your registration email, you did receive access to this online recorded virtual education on summer trout fishing techniques. So you should be able to access that. Also, again, just the website, all the social gatherings and all of our co-hosts, and just supporting the local businesses is just a part of that registration. We have a little bit of swag, not much, but whatever we have, feel free to utilize this code and you can get it. And our scholarship. So our scholarship, it's a $1,500 value. So if you don't need, it's not based on a financial need. Really, it includes registration, it includes lodging, it includes a guided trip, house groceries, and educational opportunities. So we ask that you apply by May 29th. If you don't need this, but you might know somebody that does, or if you have a community, a women's community, or just any community, please share this. We really want to get this out there and ensure that, we get we have 2 of them, so that way they can share a guided trip. And then all others too that apply, we'll make sure that you get free registration and other things as well. So we're working on all of that financial event itinerary. So this will be located in that, again, Washington menu under itinerary. And Friday's a social. People basically arrive, and we're going to do a social meetup at Whispering Pines Campground on Thursday evening. That's because people are going to be coming in from out of town, setting up camp, doing all this stuff. Friday's really when everything truly kicks off. So 8:30 registration check-in, and this is going to be at Tanum Recreational Area. And Jay Michelle, that's about 45 minutes from Roslyn, about? Okay. So Tanum is an area that is located in the canyon section of the Yakima River, and we'll share a little bit more about the Yakima. But we'll have registration pickup there, and then Jay Michelle and I are doing, and our co-host, anybody else that wants to help be a part of it, fishing the Yakima River. All of our workshops are donation based, so we're going to do that for about an hour and a half, and then we'll do our organized social fish. We'll do a potluck at Tanum, and then you can stay fishing, you can do whatever, you can fish the surrounding areas, or if you're just coming into town that night, we're going to do from 6 to 8 a social evening meetup at the Brick Saloon, which is in Roslyn, which is the oldest running bar in Washington State. So pretty
Very
cool.
True.
Yeah, so pretty cool.
And it has the original jail cells when there was not even an actual authority here. It was the railroad authority. They had the jail. They just throw you in the clink if you got too drunk. They're still in the basement. And if you act real nice to the owner, he will show you them.
Oh, okay. And a live spittoon that still has water, and they have spittoon. I mean, it's a pretty cool little place, right across from the fly shop. Just a really great place to be. So, here's all of our workshops. I'm going to go through a lot of them, but here's the Tanum recreational area. Again, it'll be in your Google map. You'll have a link to it, and then you can just Google it or Apple Maps it or whatever, to the recreational area. And our workshop, so we are going to have 4 different sections: Yakima River walk and wade access points and overall tips. We're going to talk about leader setups, matching the hatch for the river for the specific time, and then different fishing techniques of the Yakima. So that'll be all in person. And again, all of our workshops are all donation based. Our social fish, as mentioned, if you're looking for solitude, not your place, but if you're looking for community and building and just having fun and being the hype person and helping net someone's fish that's next to you, all the things, this is a really, really great event and a great time for us to connect and meet each other. Saturday, wow, there's a lot going on Saturday. And as mentioned, y'all, this is a la carte. You plug and play, you put yourself in to what you want. One thing that we're testing out and trying is, a lot of our DIY events, we've always said that it's beginner friendly, and we've offered a virtual intro to fly fishing workshop, but we've never done one in person. And we, feel that if we truly want to be inclusive to all people and all abilities and all skills, that we should do an intro to fly fishing in person. So I'm going to be teaching that at 9 a.m. on Saturday. So that way you can still kind of sleep in. And then 10 a.m. to 11, we are very fortunate that Britta Fordyce, who is a fly designer and works for Rio Flies over in Bainbridge Island, she's coming over and she's going to be teaching fly tying tips and tricks. This could be beginner / intermediate fly tying, but a great opportunity. And it's going to be at the same building as where I'll be teaching at the Masonic Hall. And then Elaine, as mentioned, from 1 to 4, fishing and paddlecraft, and that's going to be over at Spelei Beach, which is about 15 minutes from Roslyn. So again, all of this is all so close. And then our 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., we have dinner, we have speed friending, and fly fishing Olympics. So the dinner, as mentioned, is going to be with Juanita's Mexican food, and then speed friending. This is basically, J. Michelle, do you want to just share your thoughts? And we've done this before with Spokane on the Fly, and it's so much fun. But yeah, talk a little bit about speed friending.
Oh, I will. So this is my baby. So I thought that, the whole speed dating where I've never participated, I've watched, but you go from person to person, you ask a list of questions, and then at the end you get a match. Well, I thought it'd be fun to do speed friending around fly fishing. So instead of, do you like long walks on the beach questions? I mean, if you find love, good on you. But the intent is to find people that match your fly fishing speed. So that was what the game is going to involve.
Awesome. Yeah. And again, if based on, how you feel, if you don't want to, be that involved socially, it's okay to not participate, but know that those that are and that want to, that'll be available. And then we have fly fishing Olympics. This is fun. It's like tying a knot, carrying a can, casting, just really fun, silly things. And it's just a way to break the ice and have a good time. Fishing should not be serious. Fishing should be fun. Fishing should be dancing. Fishing should be laughing. Fishing should be loud. All of the things. And then we'll have our dinner at kind of in that Roslyn yard. Our workshops are again at the Masonic building that's actually in the post office, and so Roslyn's really big. So this will be on the Google Maps, so it'll be really easy to find. Our paddlecraft location. Oh, it's only a 9-minute drive to Spelei Beach. It's beautiful.
Very close.
We went during J. Michelle's birthday and checked it out, and the beach was actually up really high, but I know that the water levels are going to drop down, so we're going to have an incredible place to really do our paddlecraft workshop. As far as intro to fly fishing, it is what it sounds like. I'll be doing an hour just workshop just of the basics. Fly tying. This is Britta. She's awesome. Just look at her. She looks like she's a good time. She's going to be doing the fly tying tips and tricks. And again, that's at 10 a.m. And then we have Elaine that's going to be teaching the fishing and paddlecraft. And this is for all levels. So, and NRS is going to be sponsoring this as well. So I just added to our registration asking a few questions. So let's say you don't a paddlecraft, vessel, or you have one, but you're flying in. We're going to be asking that question, like, do you need one? So NRS, we're going to be bringing some in. We're going to get a list of how many people need it. We're going to try to bring in some SUPs, stand-up paddle boards, recreational kayaks, pack rafts, personal flotation devices, life jackets. And so that way you have the ability to learn from this, even if you don't have a paddlecraft yet or you didn't bring it with. Elaine, do you want to talk more about the workshop?
Yeah, sure. So again, you don't need to know how to paddle. I can, I'll do my best in guiding you on sort of the basics of paddling. But my goal sort of is for the workshop is to just, give people a head start, on something that maybe they haven't, ever really done before, or you've done it before and just found it to be just like insanely chaotic, because it can be. And, I've done it now for quite a few years, and, I've had a lot of trial and errors, and I feel like, there's a lot of things that I could just give you as tips out on the water or even on land of like, where to put your net, and, where to put your rod safely down on, say, your SUP or your kayak so you don't step on it or break it, which still will happen most likely. But I can, help you with trying to avoid those things, and talk about a lot of safety stuff, and also like how to use wind to your advantage. And, I'll do some talk about tides. I do a lot of saltwater fishing too. And, I know that you guys are, not super close to the ocean, but I'll briefly talk about that stuff too, because maybe you do a trip somewhere and you want to take your stand-up paddleboard or a kayak, and I can I'll just sort of do basics on all sorts of rivers, class 1, class 2, and all types of bodies of water in fishing, and yeah, and hopefully I'll get you guys sorted out and get people confident going out on your own. That's sort of one thing that I love about paddling. I love being around people, but I love just being able to hop on my sup or my kayak and just go off and be independent. I don't have to rely on anyone to like be at the put in at the time I want to put in. People are late, like I don't know. It's just I definitely love the solo part about fishing, and I just want people to my goal is to just get you to gain some confidence by yourself and independence, and because at the end of the day it's fun, and anybody can really do it as long as you just do it safely, and my goal is to get you out there safe.
It's going to be awesome. And just take advantage of this. I mean, Elaine's pretty humble, but she's a world-class kayaker. So you're learning from safety from the best. So pretty incredible opportunity. And to be partnering and being sponsored with NRS, that's a great opportunity as well. Just to be able to, if you don't have the item to use. So, but if it's not for you, that's okay. A la carte, insert yourself at wherever you see yourself fit.
And if you don't, you don't even have to pick up a rod. Like, we can just go out there and, if you don't want to pick up a fly rod or a spinning rod, you could just go out there and just get confident on the board. Like, I'm totally like, you don't even have to fish if you don't want to. So.
Totally. Yeah. And, as I always say, there's two types of rods, one that's broken and one that's not broken yet. So wherever that may be, at some point in your life, you're probably going to break a fly rod. But luckily we'll get some tips of where less likely to break. Here's Roslyn Yard. This is going to be our location. Pretty excited about this. Again, it's right across from Crow Creek Fly Shop. And this is where our Saturday evening is going to be taking place. Also, you can see there's lots of great art too. I love street art, so there's definitely throughout the whole town. There's a bunch of really great art as well. And we're excited to announce that NRS, they're actually going to be donating the Huron SUP and a PFD raffle as well. So we're going to have that raffle will be taking place at the event. Per Washington State, we have a lot of weird raffle gambling things. So we have to do it at the event, but know that that's a great opportunity. So we'll be...
To be clear, we can advertise it. We can talk about it. We just can't sell you a raffle ticket till you're in person, but we look forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then Sunday was just asked, that we do intro stuff. Well, let's do some advanced stuff too. So we are very lucky to have Britta, who's going to be doing advanced fly tying articulated bait fish. So this is a great time to come and see her, and actually our river cleanup is going to be after this event, so that way you can still participate in both if you'd like. So at 11 11ish will be our river cleanup. So again, lots happening, and you just insert yourself to wherever you want to see fit, or you might just want to go fish the whole time, and that's cool too, and just come to Saturday dinner. Like whatever y'all. Registration, this is in your itinerary as well as in your frequently asked questions, and you'll get an email that talks about registration pickup time, so you can pick up your bag and all your stuff. Different locations as mentioned, and area information. So this is, as Jay Michelle mentioned, the cemetery and learning about the railroad and just everything. There's a lot to do, not just fishing in this area. And event volunteers are needed. So if this is something that you want to do, we always have people are like, oh, FishIBelong has been so great. How can we give back? Know that there is a volunteer sign up. So if that's something of interest, then we would love to have you be a part of it. DIY fishing. All right, Ms. J. Michelle.
This weekend is DIY, and you're not particularly guided. There are plenty of places in here that you can plug and get some help, but you can connect with other people to sort of figure out where to go. I made a map of most places that you can access for walk and wade, and also personal watercraft or boat. And that's the map that Heather has up on the screen right now. It's clickable. You can go through. Again, if you have any questions, please call the shop. Absolutely. And then, so fishing licenses in Washington State, our fishing license fees statewide have just gone up. So prepare yourself. You can buy online or you can come in person and buy. There's like 600 vendors in the state of Washington. There are 2 that are about 1.5 miles from the shop that you can go to, but they only take cash or check, which is amazingly weird. But if the license website goes down, they're having a lot of trouble with it. Just know that there's a place that you can go and in person get your fishing license. You only need the freshwater day or 3-day fishing license. You don't need to buy the entire license. So FYI. And then call me if you need help. If any of you are going to drift the river and haven't before, again, please check in. We'll give you good put-ins and takeouts and some safety things around flows and potential hazardous sort of obstacles to avoid. So just FYI, but there's a great map that you can also access. And on the 2 systems that we are going to be fishing, both the Clay Ellum, which is a tributary to the Yakima, and the Yakima, it is catch and release only. It is single barbless hooks, no and artificial lures only, no bait is allowed. We absolutely preach and abide by the Keep Fish Wet principles, so please get to know those. And if you're going to take pictures, take a look at some of the work we put on United Women on the Fly YouTube channel around how to handle fish appropriately. Help your friends, help your neighbors. Like Heather mentioned earlier, if someone has a fish on, go over, give a hand, take a picture. It's super fun. But please know and obey the laws that we have around fish handling. And then guide options. I run 7 guides out of the shop. Evening Hatch is another excellent guide service that's owned by Jack Mitchell and run by Rich. And they do really, really well. And then we have Top Flight Guide Service. There are some area fly shops, aside from mine, that I will mention. That is Evening Hatch, and they are closer to the canyon where Untanum is. Those of you who know the area know that there are some fly shops missing from this list, and there's a reason for that. So we partner with people who are supportive of all people, women and others, and this is why we tout the ones that are on this list. And then the great species that we're going to be catching for the most part. We have wild rainbow trout. We have wild West Slope cutthroat. We have mountain whitefish. We also have some pike minnow, which are indigenous to the area. So that's also fun, but we don't really catch them a lot right now. But these are the main species that you will be encountering.
Nobody was injured. This was a for photo.
I love this picture so much.
Just don't go anywhere that you don't feel comfortable, basically, right, Jane Michelle? Safety first. Yeah. And this is a great, we spoke with Elaine, myself, and Mike with NRS. We talked about the different types of PFDs that are available. And so NRS is actually, they're going to be on Saturday night at our dinner and speed friending. And they are going to have some different PFDs in different sizes that, we can talk about. So just really thinking, I think one thing with fly fishing and fishing in general is we don't spend enough time talking about safety and wearing a life jacket. And so that's something that we're going to focus a little bit more on, specifically now that we have NRS with us. We're going to be bringing their full women's clothing line, which is amazing. That fits real bodies, which is awesome, as well as the men's line as well. Thinking about safety, Watch and Elaine's, this whole month is all about safety as far as paddlecraft goes. So, utilizing that and just being mindful, thinking about what is your fitness ability and, all of the things when you're getting out on the water, and go with a friend. We don't recommend that you're going individually. It's always good to be a part of the pack. Jane Michelle.
For equipment, honestly, I'm going to split the diff on the 4-weight to 6-weight. we are a catch and release fishery, which means that we tend towards getting fish in quicker and letting them go. So honestly, a 5 is probably really good there. You could do a 4, but sometimes this, that we're on the east side of the Cascades, it gets windy, and a 4 is harder to throw things. So a 5, if it's really windy, definitely a 6 will punch through. 9 foot is totally average. We do some floating fly lines, honestly, are the most popular and most used on this river, unless you want to do streamer, and then let's talk streamer. But you can do some like different tips on your lines to like get into streamer action. But honestly, our floating fly line is the best, probably the most versatile. Leaders anywhere from 9 foot. Probably 3x to 5x is great. Definitely a little heavier on if you're going to streamer fish again, because we have some freaking hogs in this river. Mm-hmm. And if they smack your streamer, you're going to want to hang on. So maybe think about that. And then tippet spools, of course, 3x to 6x. We don't need to even mess with 7 on this river. And then pay attention to the nylon or mono versus fluorocarbon in that regard. Safety tips, just make sure you've got access to first aid kit, or you have it. Please drink water. I had a client pass out 2 weeks ago, and he should have drowned because he was by himself, and he passed out mid-river because he was dehydrated. And it's a miracle that he's with us today because he was over thigh deep in water when he passed out. So I don't say that in a dramatic way. I tell you that's a thing that happens, and I need you to drink water. Listen to me. I'm not your mother. Please bring changes of clothes. We're going to be here at the end of January. But if we're lucky, the water's going to be cold. So if you dip in and you get cold, you fall in, whatever, just bring a change of clothes and a waiting staff, collapsible ones. You can get them for under $60. They're a definite safety feature that I feel like we all should have. And I'm talking to myself too, because I've been so resistant to a waiting staff, and in the last year I've become a convert. So it's a safety thing, and we could talk more about that if you want.
And equipment. So FishIBelong, we have a small equipment locker, but we do have probably like 10 different sizes of waders and boots, all the way from like size 5 boots up to size 12 men's. So we have a lot of options as far as waders go, medium to double XL. So if you need to borrow waders and or even a fly rod and a reel with a leader, we have that too. So we have anywhere from 4, 5s, and 6s. It's first come, first serve, but just fill out the borrowed equipment. And that you can find that in your registration email. It's also listed all over the websites as well. And we just ask by June 23rd, so that way I can, I'll be driving it all over. So as far as clothing goes, just waders are recommended for safety, especially if the water's cold. Studded felt, studded rubber boots. Some of these rocks can be slippery. Be very mindful though, if you are using any felt, that you're washing them, between the different bodies of water. That way you're not transporting any little organisms from different spots. There's not a lot of shade in the Yakima Canyon, so really being mindful as far as sun protection, clothing, sunscreen, sunglasses, always bring a rain jacket, kind of the basics, but definitely a change of clothes is important.
So I just want to talk about flies, and I'm not going to take a lot of time. And I was supposed to edit the fly slides, but I had to go rescue my clients. I left the guide on the side to figure his shit out, but I drove the clients back to town. If you have specific fly questions, please ask, but I'm just going to share with you at this time of the year on the Yakima, we're going to want stoneflies, and specifically we're going to want golden stone patterns, which honestly, either it's a chubby or it's a yellow Sally is the two most used and often used successfully on the river. PMDs, pale morning duns, are going to be a thing. And then all of our hatches are early this year. So terrestrials are going to be definitely a must. So we're talking beetles, a little bit like small ants, like size 10 and 12 ants. You're going to want grasshoppers in tan, yellow, and a little bit of brown, but you're going to want them a little small. So instead of like a 8, maybe a 10. So just tend towards the smaller terrestrials, but that's going to be what's happening. Underneath, you're going to want still mayfly nymphs and any kind of like split caddis mayfly and any sort of what we would call a Euro nymph. So like the blowtorch or assassin or warrior, those types of patterns that are nymphs. Those are attractor nymphs. They don't necessarily imitate one nymph. They imitate a lot. Those are going to be money. So anything with a tag tail, which means either a UV or red tail on it, and a size 12, 14, 16 is going to be money. So that's kind of there. The other flies that you're going to want to always have with you, both in dry but also a lot of wet, is the pat stone. It's the mayfly. The mayflies are in this river year round. We'll never go wrong with having lots of mayflies and lots of stoneflies. So just keep that in mind. And if you want sort of specific names of flies, I can help you, but you guys know that all companies that sell flies name them different things. So I rather concentrate on the types of flies that we're after, and then we can talk about what they're named. But again, I'll go through it again. Golden stones, PMDs, pale morning duns, early terrestrials, which are grasshoppers and beetles and ants. Potentially also, I'm going to throw in bumblebees. So ooh. I know. And any sort of Euro nymph pattern, which is the, we're calling like the blowtorch, the fire starter, the assassins, the warriors, all of those things. And then your friends, the perdigons. There we are.
And do know, too, that if you go into the fishing section of the Washington State event, that there is lists of the different, all of this, like the hatches, and all of these leader examples are going to be in there as well. One thing I forgot to mention is I'm going to be sending a PDF of this. So we're going to just quickly go over the leaders, but know that you're going to get a PDF copy of this. So you could take pictures of it or print it out and bring it with you.
This is just our basic setup for a dry fly leader, single dry fly. It's for me a privilege when we finally get to this stage in the game, because so often in my life, 9 months out of the year, I am not ever a single dry fly. So just make sure that you do a good clinch knot or a non-slip loop, which I tend to do more with my dry flies. Make sure that it's at least 7.5 to 9 foot. If you want to catch more fish, try to make your leader a little bit longer.
Great suggestion.
Thank you. Dry dropper. It's a clinch knot on the top fly, and then you come down and it's a dropper fly. It's the same knot. It's a clinch knot. Make sure, by the way, we're crimping our barbs at all times. We are catching release fishery. And then you could do a clinch or a non-slip loop on the bottom fly. You just want to ensure that your top fly is very, you apply your floating a ton to it, and you make sure that your dropper fly, a lot of dropper flies now are tungsten, so you want to ensure that that point fly is buoyant enough to support that tungsten fly on the bottom. And then subsurface leaders, there are several different ways to rig these. There's a lot of debate going on right now around how we attach. It's interesting. Our leaders to the bend in our hook. You could do like the riffle hitch. You can do the straight off the bend, or you can do the part where I'm not actually sure of the name, but you could put that. It's Kelly Gallop's drop shot, but you do it in reverse. So there's a bunch of different ways you can do this, but here's my short soapbox. Y'all, do whatever subsurface leader setup works for you, you're confident in, and you'll catch fish.
Absolutely. And so it's okay to use one fly. I think ultimately people get caught up in wanting to do two flies, and sometimes that can get tangled. So, and a lot of these leaders, it seems complicated, but these are all suggested, lengths.
Just suggested.
And then just, Yeah, looking at the depths of the water that you're fishing, and mix it up. Don't be, I always say, leader lazy. Go deeper, go shorter. If you're not ever touching the bottom, lengthen your leader. If you're always touching the bottom, shorten it, right? So
Totally.
play around with it.
Play around. Don't be afraid to add floatant. Don't be afraid to change flies, and don't be afraid to change the depth of your indicator. If you stop being afraid of those things or not doing those things, you will catch more fish, guaranteed.
Yeah. And part of this too is on the daily WhatsApp, sending the itinerary for the day. We'll also be sharing kind of what's been working too, and utilize the WhatsApp and the Facebook group throughout the event too, and be like, hey, this is working or what's not working. And just ask all the people, if you're camping with us or in each event or workshop, talk to everybody. And we'll definitely make sure that we're sharing that knowledge, because we want you all to be very, very successful. Euro leaders, like, this is a lot. And it's so, you can have short Euro, long Euro. This is just a suggestion. And this is one, again, you're going to get this, take a picture of it. And if you haven't played around with this, it can be a very successful technique as well. And trout spay, if you have a little, trout spay rod, feel free to bring it and try it. A few of us on the committee, we are pretty good at it. So if you want to get some more information or have questions about that, I know Jay Michelle and I specifically, we are more than happy to. This is one of our favorite ways to fish. So
absolutely, y'all. And the streamer game here is money. That's your jam. Let's talk.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Get some of those big ones. And then just quickly, conservation, as Jay Michelle mentioned, keep fish wet. We do a fish handling Friday, so lots and lots of different pictures and different suggestions, and specifically for catch and release, following the keep fish wet principles and tips. Pretty easy. We do support legal harvest though, for the fisheries where it is legal. As Jay Michelle mentioned, the two really bodies of water that we're going to be fishing are catch and release. So barbless hooks, you want to use wet bare hands, take off your gloves. And thinking about, minimizing the fish to any air, holding that fish under the net. They're slippery. And, a net actually looks pretty beautiful aesthetically as far as photos go as well. Lean down. So, I love this picture, but, it just looks better as the photographer leans down and you as the angler lean down. It just looks a little bit better and less awkward of a photo. Photograph the fish. Like, these are beautiful. Like, look at that fish. Oh my gosh. Just look at it. It's like, it's gorgeous. So that cheek and all the things. So, kind of thinking outside the box per se. If you don't know about the banana superstition, come talk to us. We have a lot to talk about that, but I say fear no fruit, eat bananas and fish. And, kind of looking at other ways. One of my girlfriends actually has a bushel of bananas tattooed on her arms. So she is always fishing with, she's always fearing no fruit. Cause it's all a bunch. It's casting photos, just kind of, again, thinking outside the box. And if you're around me, you're going to know that I'm your hype woman and I'm going to be taking photos and videos of you. And, I want to see you laugh. I want to see you smile. I want to see all the things. This is the cling strip, which is really cool. So it kind of shows you what the temperatures are. And really there's an evolution within the temperatures. As we focus with Keep Fish Wet, we're really kind of looking at the science. And as we know, all things in life evolve as we continue to get more and more science. And now science is showing that, really beyond that 68 kind of used to be that number. But now we're looking at lower temperatures as far as mortality rate goes. So just kind of thinking about that, knowing that, as science becomes better, we learn more and we grow as anglers from that. And then final thoughts and to-dos, just safety policy as mentioned, wear a life jacket. Don't come if you're sick. That's a big one for us. We miss you, but we really want to all stay well and healthy. Really being mindful as to where you're wading, where you're rowing. If you're bringing a boat, are you a good rower? Are you fit? Just all of those considerations. We just want to have a great time. And if for some reason something happens or you're around somebody or, reach out to all of the co-hosts. We're here to help you, here to put any drama to kibosh it. Just let us know. We want to make sure that the weekend is truly open, truly safe, and truly for all people. J. Michelle's phone number is here. My phone number is here as well. You can email us. But I will say, utilize the Facebook group, utilize the WhatsApp, and really utilize the website. Again, we have put everything there in the FAQs. Hopefully, all of the questions are there to help answer. We gave you a checklist if you're type A like me and I like to check things off. Sign up for the workshops if you haven't done so already. We have 5 workshops, as mentioned. It's all donation based. And so please feel free to sign up for them all or none. We would love to have you be a part of any of that. Share the scholarship again. The 29th of May is our final. So we have 2 more weeks. So please share this with whoever you can. We really want to ensure that this gets out and is shown. And then sign up for camping. This is what the group campsite looks like. This is the Yakima River right here. We have spots for, I think we're going to probably put 6 trailers and a bunch of tents, and a lot of people are going to be sleeping in their, trucks and their vans and whatnot. So we can get a lot of folks here, and you can see people brought boats and all kinds of things. So it's a great, great location. Get your equipment borrowed if you need to. Just fill out that form. Really, that's it. Utilize WhatsApp and Facebook, and we can't wait to see you all. And if you haven't registered, hopefully we convinced you that this is going to be a pretty amazing event. Thank you to our committee, Chelsea, Ann, Angie, Sharon, J. Michelle, y'all. It's such an honor truly to work side by side with all of you, and just being so giving and willing to volunteer and really be it for the community. It means so much. So thank you all for being here and your time behind the scenes. It's truly appreciated. And Elaine too. Sorry, I saw you, Elaine.
Yes, definitely.
Seeing all the faces.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so great to see you all. Thank you all. Drive safe and travel safe, and we'll see you in a month and a half.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Bye.